So, as promised on the triggering part of the master technique, I'm going to discuss a technique called anchoring with you now. And we're going to run through the process so you can learn how to do it for yourself and you can learn how to incorporate it into other activities. Now, I briefly mentioned a moment ago about NLP and accelerated learning, sharing similarities on personal development and understanding your processes. And anchoring for me is one of my favourite introductions to introduce people into the power of NLP. What I'd like you to do is just get yourself comfortable into, you don't want to be in a crowded, busy room if you're doing this. So unless you can go and find somewhere quiet or a nice little one-to-one space, save this off for a bit later. Once you're in a good position and you're ready to do this, anchoring it's kind of like triggering, because what anchoring does is it gives you speedy access to emotions, memories, and things that you want to remember, really, because it's anchored into that point. With anchors, what you tend to do is you attach them to a physical location on your body. So you can tap your shoulder, tap your forehead, pull your earlobe, or anything like that. Now, what I always like to go through with people is we've got 10 fingers. So I always like to use those as a starting point. But I'll also tell people that they can pull their earlobe, rub their nose, whatever works best for them. But I always find if you pick your thumb and a finger and you just squeeze them together as a anchor trigger. I have one and it's wonderful. I've been using it for just over a year now, this one particular anchor. And even though it's been a while since I've done it, every time I do it, I still get that rush of emotion, that pleasant feeling come back from doing it. Because it's just about flicking on that light switch of that memory. It's very effective. So first thing you need to do is discover and choose on where you're going to pick for your trigger, for your anchor. I'm going to use for this example a finger and thumb. You don't have to use the finger and thumb. You can use whatever is good for you. Now what I'd like you to do is think of what you would like to remember. In this instance, what I'd like to do is just go with a nice holiday experience. So for this example, we're going to use a nice holiday experience that you've had. You can pick anything else. You can run through this later and do anything with it because it's so easy to learn and it's so easy to repeat. But we're going to pick a nice holiday experience. From this, we're going to pick one specific event, one specific memory and emotion, and we're going to look for something happy and fun. So we're going to go for a happy and fun memory from a holiday. We've all got one somewhere. So when you're comfortable, just get your trigger ready and just apply a light bit of pressure to it. Close your eyes, and with your eyes closed, just remember a little bit more detail about that happy, fun experience that you had on holiday. Remember what it was that made you smile. As you start remembering that memory, as you start remembering that holiday experience, just to apply a little bit more pressure onto your anchor, apply a little bit more force so it becomes a bit more established. And now just release your trigger and open your eyes and just, be back here. So that's your first experience of going into an anchoring exercise. What I'd like you to do now is we're going to do the same thing. Start applying a small bit of pressure to your trigger. Close your eyes, and now we're going to go back into that experience, back into that holiday memory that was really happy and really fun. This time I want you to think about the weather a bit more. Was it raining? Was it sunny? Was it daytime? Was it nighttime? Try and bring as much of that memory back as possible, but focus on one aspect. So you've already focused on bringing that memory back. Now really give a bit of emphasis to the weather, the heat, the cold, whatever is right for you. And as that memory builds, as those experiences continue, apply some more pressure onto your trigger. So as it kind of peaks, you apply your peak pressure. And then just release your trigger again, open your eyes, and you come back. So you're beginning to establish an anchor and a trigger. You're beginning to establish those emotions, that memory. You're beginning to make that memory stronger. So again, we'll do it the third time. And what I'd like you to do, again, close your eyes, apply that pressure. And you've already started to understand how to build that pressure as that memory, as that emotion builds. So we know the weather, we know the daylight, nighttime, warm, hot, whatever. But what I want you to do is now think about the people you were with. It could be family, it could be friends, but remember the people in this experience. And it's a fun, happy memory. It's a good memory. So it's something you want to remember. Remember those people, their faces, whether they were smiling, laughing, talking, dancing, whatever they were doing, but really remember what was going on. And as that memory builds and as it really solidifies, put more pressure on. And so you're enjoying the memory, you're enjoying the experience, and you're enjoying being around those people, and you're enjoying those people that you may not have seen for a while, but you're happy, and it's a great memory, and it's a great holiday memory from when you were younger. And when you're ready, just release that pressure, open your eyes, and come back for your nearly fourth version. This is the last one I'm going to guide you through specifically, because after this, on the fifth one, you do that on your own. For the fourth one then, again, you know the process. Start putting that pressure on your finger or on your ear, whatever's working for you at the moment, and close your eyes. Now you're remembering the people that are there, and instantly that emotion's stronger. You're remembering the weather, you're remembering the time of day, and instantly you can remember more. And that fun and that feeling, that happiness is stronger than ever before. Now, what's going on around you? Is there music playing? Is there sounds? Is there noises? If there's music, what song is it? What sticks out? What notes? What words? If it's not music, is it silence? Is it the beauty of silence that you can hear and that you can remember? Is it a beautiful dawn? Remember the sounds, remember the sights, remember the smells and the tastes. If it's at a fair or something like that, you might be able to smell candy floss. Or if it's in a restaurant, you may be able to smell the dinner. And you may be able to taste it. Again, your memories can do amazing things. So when it builds and when it gets really strong, apply that pressure a bit firmer, put some more force into it. Really experience that fun, enjoyable, happy, fantastic holiday experience. And now just release that pressure again and open your eyes. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our fifth and final one. Because one of the things with NLP and one of the things with accelerated learning is we do go for repetition, and repetition does formalize, it does build that link and does build that long-term memory, and that experience becomes more solid. And it's been established that around about 5 is a good starting point to establish those memories, those experiences. You can do more if you want, but for now we're just going to stick with 5. What I'd like you to do is close your eyes and activate that anchor, activate that trigger. And remember, it's a really fun, it's a really happy holiday memory that you've got, and really, really focus on the enjoyment and the joy and the happiness of it. Now, I'm going to go quiet for a moment, and I want you to build in as many additional senses and additional experiences to make it as strong and as vivid and as vibrant and colourful and big and bold as you can. Okay, you can release that pressure now and open your eyes. You can do this again as many times as you want and practice it as many times as you need to. You can do it for celebrations, you can do it for confidence, you can do it for just if you're in a particularly enjoyable situation, if you're at a birthday party and you're really enjoying it, create a trigger while you're there, experience it and lock it down. From this, you can learn how to create triggers for learning. What I'd like you to do is you've got that memory, you've got that anchor, you've got that trigger for that happy holiday experience. Now, as I say, repetition builds, and the more you do something, the more it will stay effective. If you never fire that trigger again, and in 6 months' time you do it, and it won't work, you go, well, That's rubbish. It's not going to work. You have to practice this thing. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask you to, for the next week, at least once, twice, maybe 3 times a day, fire that anchor, fire that trigger. And when you do it, remember that holiday experience. Don't expect it all to come back naturally. You've got to build on it and make it stronger. But if you do that every day for the next week, then when you want to remember that memory, when you want to quickly access that happy, wonderful holiday experience, you can fire that trigger. Try it in a week, try it in a month. You'll find that it comes quicker than without. And the same works with learning. So that's an introduction to anchoring, and really it's an introduction to NLP. If you find that technique interesting, if you find that technique fun, there are a lot more NLP resources that you can look into, and I'll give you a few pointers at the end of this course.